along with plenty bad. But ugly is something I simply never had. A bucking bronco never stops kicking. So while the clock's ticking, here's the thing about the wicked. If you lay them to rest.
The Outer Worlds has been rated M by the ESRB for blood and gore, intense violence, and strong language. It is approved for mature players only. It's 2237, and the Far Stars War has begun. Isolated by the light years that lie between them and the Earth's established colonies, the pioneers on the outskirts of the galaxy suddenly face a merciless enemy, the Guerin, an alien warrior race of unsurpassed cruelty. They are bent on the total destruction of every other spacefaring race that might challenge them for dominance. Before human and allied alien authorities can react, the Guerin blast world after world into oblivion. From the terror-stricken response to the first deadly Guerin assaults through desperate battles to the terrible aftermath of total war, follow the League's space and Marines forces as they challenge the enemy with high-tech weaponry and old-fashioned courage. The shared universe of the Far Stars War, created by Bill Fawcett and David Drake, showcases 10 stories by top military science fiction authors performing at their writing best. Get your copy from Amazon.com today. Hey kids, this is Jack. Welcome to the Outer Worlds. Now, those of you who've been with me since the beginning know that I tried to play the Outer Worlds earlier, but it was a time when I was stupid and overloaded myself. I actually was trying to play 12 games a week, if you can believe it. Like I said, it was stupid, it was ridiculous, and I had to quit. But I always swore I'd come back to it, and here it is. Hope you enjoy.
It's not the best choice.
It's Spacer's choice.
Go right ahead. Other than yourself, definitely the vicar. Don't get me wrong. He seems a decent man, cut from church cloth, knows his scriptures. But there's something about him that bothers me. Like he's not one of us. Sometimes I suspect he doesn't even want to be here.
Uh-huh.
I keep a few paces between myself and Miss Holcomb, the town mechanic, since her dear father left the workforce. No ill intent in her mind. Just a queer sort, restless, scatterbrained, inclined to do first and think after, if it takes me. Amelia. Definitely Amelia Kemp. I advise against stepping foot in her drinking establishment altogether.
That was the...
Word is, they're gonna replace her with an automechanical barkeep. She's... what's the word? Obsolete. You don't want to associate yourself with that kind of person.
Wow. Out of stock, out of stock, out of stock. This is the church, I take it. It looks like a church.
Sorry, I'll just be a minute.
You had a minute. Next one comes out today.
He's off the threats, friend. I'm going.
It's boss's orders. You're all not supposed to leave.
Okay, let's see what the mayor, although I think they call him manager, but you know, let me see what the mayor says. Okay, that's a factory.
The grease monkey, Argo.
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's taking so long to fix. The answer's technical.
Don't apologize. Just try using small.
The cans bust open in the oven because she's set to cook saltuna, which isn't really got. Mr. Thompson? I think there's someone who'll see you.
Focus, Miss Holcomb. You and I are still talking. Let's start over. Walk me through the process. Show me where it's going awry.
Well, sure. It's mostly on account of what we're feeding into the mechanism.
It puts food in cans. We have food, we have cans. Why won't it work like we need?
She's expecting saltuna of a certain size. We're filling the cans with... Well, not...
That was an accident.
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize.
She did.
I was given no
What a
forewarning
douche.
of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself.
You read, I was told I should talk to you.
I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform.
I don't work for Spacer's Choice.
Of course not. I don't have that kind of luck. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor past time.
Only regulator we've got is the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process.
All right.
My proposition benefits the both of us. Please, hear me out. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power is shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way.
When you say mostly abandoned,
I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there.
let's see. Tell me what I need to do. What a surprise. I don't think these people... Do you mean marauders? Marauders are people.
The people living in the botanical labs. They're deserted. Former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home.
Okay. If you want me to solve your deserter problem I charge by the head, tell me what you need to do.
My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town.
All right.
My dad told me all about the plants. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented, and may prove useful to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Sure, I could use the company.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
That little smirk of his. Okay, CMP New Manager Seminars. Companions. You've gained a companion. They are characters that join you in your adventures and help you in a variety of ways. Companions provide combat support. Their skills enhance your skills. They increase your carrying capacity. You unlock special companion combat abilities with the Inspiration skill. Learn more about your companions in the Companion Ledger. Some people may require completing another quest before they'll assist you. You can check out your quest log for dependencies. Okay, this is my quest log. How am I doing? Alright.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office. Talk.
Okay.
Hey, mister, can we talk? Sorry. Can we talk? Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters. On account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale.
This about the deserters?
To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left.
Okay. I can't blame anybody for wanting to leave. This town's got issues.
Life's hard here, especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice family, but every family's got the one the rest whisper.
That's true.
Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is.
Okay. I suppose it
Thanks,
couldn't
mister.
hurt. We'll try
I
it.
just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad was.
She's not wrong.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto at your service. Or Vicar Max, if you're the sort who prefers brevity. And Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
Just tagging along with the DeSoto. Why me?
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison. Anything at all. Spiritual counseling, this season's tossball predictions, the quickest way out of town.
Freddie wanted to talk to you about what Reed asked us to do.
What? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do?
Cut off power to Adelaide's deserters.
Depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Ms. Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk.
So what do you advise?
Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold. Not if things are left to stand as they are. If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to the geothermal plant. It is not as safe as you might assume. One of the reasons I transferred here was to fulfill my duty in hunting down banned heretical texts. I happen to know such a book is, as we speak, tainting a collector's library in Emerald Vale. However, the collector's residence lies outside the town's walls. My retrieval efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have overrun the property. Should you fare better than me, I'd pay a handsome sum for the book.
Oh yeah, good, more side quests. The more side quests, the better.
It's a handwritten journal. A faded blue cover with the name M. Bakunu handwritten in the lower corner. I'll mark where I saw it on your map. Assuming you're serious?
Yeah, I'll look for the book.
Thank you. If you retrieve it, you can always find me here.
Where are we headed? That's on account of how I never met her.
Uh-huh.
I don't rightly know. She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Vale a few months, sorting mechanical computers. The contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. So when I was born, I got sent here. I don't know about normal. Dad said she worked under some kind of special contract. It's sensible. Dad just fixed machines. She did some kind of crazy math, high-level stuff. Better to raise me on his time, I suppose.
And that's our first hint that all the people who live here are effectively slaves.
You mean about the mission being too clean? I know, but Vicker says the universe is a machine, and it runs by law. Real machines have gunked up oil, scratches, and worn bits. You can tell they've seen handling, been used by folk. The machine Vicker sees is one ain't never been run. It's not for people to live in. It's something on a museum shelf, under glass.
That's an interesting perspective.
It just comes off cold to me.
And that's it for this session of The Outer Worlds. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please hit that like button. It does help me with the algorithm on YouTube. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. And if you do subscribe, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single one of my videos. I'll see you next time for more Outer Worlds. Bye-bye.
Been trapped in that ship for an awful long time, so perhaps you have simply forgot what you signed. Oh, honestly, did you not read the colony policy that defined you as company property? That wavers your say in autonomy?